employment motivation, the first one. In the textbook, we measure about expectancy model. We have the motivation, right? And then we invest the efforts, but this is, conditional. Started the efforts, we have the result, we have the performance, but they might have different outcome. Those three outcomes, one is you cannot get the job done, right? It is very challenging, very stressful. You realize that, and then you expect that, and then probably you don't have the motivation to invest efforts. You just give up, you quit, right? The second can be, also it might be still challenging, but you can achieve that with certain efforts. You have the motivation, your performance is great, right? The second, one is mission impossible. The second is mission possible. The third outcome is easy job, very easy job. You might have the motivation at the beginning, and then you invested the efforts, pretty good performance. But since this is so easy, you will lose your motivation in the future. We call the expectancy model. So the motivation actually is a function of how much we want something, and then how likely we are to get it. So they're talking about the job searching, job seeking, right? You are like interviewing for a very senior, chief officer's position. You cannot find that job. For example, the outcome one, it becomes stressful. You know the result already. You expected the result. You won't give a try. But also, you will not try to find an easy job, minimum wage job. Why? Because it's not challenging enough. It does not fit, right, for your competency. This is the other two components I haven't mentioned yet. One is the ability, one is the environment. This will affect the performance. Motivation is a function, right? So that means that, and then we will choose how much effort to exert. Performance and satisfaction is another one. Satisfaction leads to performance, or performance leads to satisfaction. Yeah, simply speaking, this is always the argument. Actually, I would say, if you ask me to choose, I would say performance leads to satisfaction. You satisfied doesn't mean you have good performance. You satisfied, probably you stay in the comfort zone, losing your motivation. The performance won't be good. So I agree, performance rewarded leads to satisfaction. The satisfaction, long-term, we talk about long-term satisfaction, don't argue with me, okay? So, the performance through this, effective or very good designed, well-designed reward system, this will be this, long-term satisfaction. Let's continue to talk about complex models of motivation. So equity this is a topic, like I have to say, this is not, following or not based on the needs hierarchy, but the other complex models of motivation are following this needs hierarchy model. Somehow like equity, fairness. Equity means equal, right? All equal, salary equal, working condition equal, benefits equal. This is almost not possible, in my opinion. I would more talk about the fairness. In the last chapter, we talk about the individual difference. We know people are all different. I would say like people are born differently. People have different, let's say, their background, education, right? So people have different experience, right? People have different IQ, EQ. We can keep learning. We can, let's say, keep acquiring new skills, new skill sets. We can keep motivate ourselves. My performance, right? My performance get the result. Like you feel it's fair, right? Compare with your colleagues. Okay, so I keep doing that. Instead of motivation to change, I would say no complaint. But if this performance, same contribution, resulted in different, let's say, reward, the inequality, unfair, I call this unfairness. So this will result in the complaints. Pay attention to that. You need to raise the concern, but you have to admit you cannot, control the final result. What will happen? You don't know. What you should focus is you compare with yourself. I always say like whether you get developed, whether you get, whether you grow in the past couple of years. For this model, I try to, relate it back to the higher level needs, which is the self-actualization, the developing, growing needs. So the goal setting is also like, okay, I would relate this to the high level needs. The goal setting is the way to increase, is one of the ways to increase our motivation. In the expectancy model, we talk about different outcomes. This is the outcome. So this goal should be smart, should be specific, right? But also it should be moderately difficult or moderately challenging. You need to, let's say, put some efforts, put some time to experience some pressure. But if you concentrate, if you work hard enough, you will get it done. The goal, setting the goal, and then you will achieve that. This is the motivation. And then the satisfaction comes from the sense of achievement once you get things done. Okay. A couple of years ago, when I started writing my proposal and then my dissertation, when I set the target, set the goal, set the timeline, all right, I get this motivation. So, right, once you successfully defend your dissertation, that's the satisfaction, right? The sense of achievement caused the satisfaction. The performance caused the satisfaction. When we talk about this motivation, we are using this high involvement management method. The low level needs easily to fulfill, right? It's about money, it's about the relation, right? This is easy. But the high level, the esteem needs, the self-actualization, the growing needs, it's very difficult. Make sure that the employees, they are aiming high. We now involve the employee into the decision making. Those employees, they are more motivated to set the goals for the company, to contribute to this to the success of the company, right? And then also at the same time, what they gain, they gain the experience, they gain the sense of belonging by join the decision-making process. They are also getting the experience. They are also growing development. They see the results. Once they see that the outcome, they know they contribute. This is the high-level self-actualization needs, from the low-level needs to the high-level needs, by using this high involvement management method. When we talk about the involved total approach, we talk about from the organizing to the planning to the controlling to the reward system to the phases the company's process. This is involved a lot of group processes are involved.